All right, y'all, we are getting ready to add in the main color of our pinafore top. You'll see I have my project, I have my second larger body needle, I have both my trim and my main color, and I have 2 stitch markers for my bust darts. I'm gonna place those stitch markers on this setup round. So you're gonna pick up your project, and you're going to get ready to knit with your trim color and your larger needle. You can see I've got my larger needle in my right hand. So I'm gonna go ahead and slip, slip, knit, just like I've been doing, purl, knit, knit, purl, knit, knit. And now is when we are going to pick up our main color and add it in. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my yarn and just start working with it. So the first stitch I'm going to do is actually a purl stitch. So I'm just gonna leave a nice little tail here and start with my purl stitch. And then I'm going to go ahead and start knitting. And I'm going to knit until I have 10 stitches left, but I'm going to go ahead and place my stitch markers along the way. Go ahead and knit until you have 10 stitches left and place your markers according to your size. I'll meet you on the other side. All right, so as you can see, I've got 10 stitches left. You should too. And you're going to purl one last stitch with your main color. And now you're going to add in a second ball of your trim color. So here is my second ball of my trim color. I'm just gonna go ahead and once again, just leave a nice little tail. And I am going to just start working the pattern. Knit, knit, purl, knit, knit, purl, and then knit 3. That is how you add in your main body color to your pinafore top. All right, so we are on row 2 of the body section, and we are going to learn how to do Intarsia. You can see that I have my project here. I've got one ball of trim color on either side, and then I've got one ball of main color for the middle here. I'm going to pick up my project. And I am going to slip 2 with yarn in front, purl 1, knit 1, purl 2, knit 1, and then purl 2 more. Now you're going to want to keep this stitch right here taut by holding on to that tail of yarn. You're going to go ahead and purl that one. Now you can go ahead and tighten that stitch up. I definitely needed to. So this is where we need to do our Intarsia join to make sure that basically it creates a seam on the back of the fabric that allows these 2 colors to be knit next to each other. So to do this, all you have to do is take your trim color that you just finished working and lay it across your needle like that. Now take your main color yarn that you're about to start working and bring it up over top of that trim color, just like that. And then simply start working it. So that first stitch is going to be a knit stitch. You can see I've captured this trim yarn within my main color yarn. I'm gonna knit that first stitch, and then I'm gonna purl across till I get to the last 10 stitches. And you'll see, here, let me purl a few real quick. I'll show you. When you do that, you can pull this and it makes that nice and taut and it secures it there. So now we're going to purl to the last 10 stitches. I'll meet you on the other side. Okay, so you can see I've purled to the last 10 stitches. I'm gonna once again hold that yarn tail just a little bit taut, I am going to knit one last stitch with my main color. I'm going to bring that yarn back to the front of my work and lay it once again across the needle like so. Take that next trim yarn, bring it up over top of your main color yarn, and then begin working with the trim color. So I'm going to purl 2, knit 1, purl 2, knit 1, and purl 3. It's hard to see now, but when you do this, it creates that seam then that keeps those two colors together. And as you work more of your project, you'll see what I mean. Every time you switch between your main color yarn and your trim color yarn, you're going to do that Intarsia join where you capture one of the yarns, the yarn that you just finished working, you're going to capture it underneath the yarn that you're picking up to work. And you're going to do that every time you switch colors.